Cawfee Talk with Robyn Schall. Please welcome your host, Robyn Schall. Oh, thank you. Oh, wow. I get emotional every time I come out here and seeing this, live studio audience. It's overwhelming. It's beautiful. I'm so excited. We have such a great show today, and I can't say enough great things about our guest. I've known him probably since I started comedy, because when I first started about 10 years ago, we both had just recently gotten into Caroline's. So we kind of but the thing is, he started about 4 or 5 years before me, if not even more. We'll have to ask him what year he started. But he started when he was 14 years old in stand-up. His name is Neko White. He's hilarious. I'm about to turn you on to a really, really, really funny and talented comedian. So I'm really excited for you guys to meet him today. So we're gonna get to that interview in a little bit. And then Richie, 10 minutes ago, said, hey, I'm not gonna be able to do the news today. So luckily I found another newscaster to step in. Her name is Georgette, and I was able to get her last minute, which is very hard to do, but she said she would step in. Today is Saturday. Now, I know I said on Friday during Cawfee Talk we would do a birthday party on Cawfee Talk, but a lot of the Hart sluts watch in replay. So we're going to do Friday's episode at night. So it's going to be a nighttime birthday party, which makes more sense because I definitely want to have a glass of wine and eat cake. And wine and cake is better at night than in the morning. Not saying we don't do that in the morning. I'm just saying it's a little bit better. Where do we send your birthday cards? Just email it to me at Robyn Schall. What is my email? Robyn@robynschall.com. or Robyn Schall at Yahoo, and just write in the subject birthday card so that I know not to read it. Richie's going to print it out Thursday night. Well, now you could have up until Friday, because we're not going to do the episode till 8:30 at night. Birthday party, 8:30 at night on Friday. Send your birthday cards through email. Yahoo is still a thing. Oh yeah, I'm going down with the ship. My mom still has AOL. My mom's email is still AOL. And to check her mail, she signs into AOL. I wonder if there's still chat rooms. We should go on her account one day, because I don't even know my AOL anymore. I remember my screen name was Sholly505, but I don't remember my password or anything. This does not count as a Patreon. No, Patreon for Sprinkles, we're going live tomorrow at 9 p.m. So Sprinkles is tomorrow. Friday at 8:30 is the birthday party. That's how I met Eric with an AOL chat room. Really? I remember. Okay. I don't know if this is appropriate. All right, let's just. Okay, hold on. Let me think this is appropriate. Okay, fine. So my parents got, before AOL, there was Prodigy. Do you guys remember that? That was. You look lovely today. Thank you. This is my art teacher look. I feel like I just need paint on me. Oh, by the way, we reminded Prodigy. But Frank's coming on Friday. But he'll be here after the party. I think he comes at 10:30 or 11. But anyway, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna I've been doing my own laundry in my little fake washing machine, but since he's coming, I was like, okay, let me really clean the towels and the sheets so that they don't have that weird fake washing machine smell. Actually, I'm lying. It doesn't have a smell. But, I want to really clean it. So my lab coat that has paint all over it, I sent that as well. It's still just as disgusting. But, I don't think it's disgusting. I think it's art. Okay, anyway. All right, so remember Prodigy? So Prodigy came right before AOL. And the Schall family was so advanced. We had Prodigy. I was in, first grade, and we got this thing called Prodigy. And they had the computer set up in my brother's room. So no, maybe I was in fourth grade. Nope, had to be in first because I wasn't there in fourth grade. I realized it was for Richie's birthday, join Patreon. Yeah, for Robyn's, join Patreon as a birthday gift. That's a great birthday gift. It's you could do $2, $5, whatever you want. realize there's a lot of creepers real early on in life thanks to the internet. And if you think I didn't went and tell everyone in the class that I get to see naked people on the internet, well, my first grade teacher was not happy. I wonder if that's why she didn't like me. So when I got leg braces on, she didn't want me in the class anymore. So when I was diagnosed with Perthes disease and I had leg braces and all stuff, my teacher, Mrs. C, well, it's not Castro something, wanted me out of the class. She decided, because she was pregnant, she's like, I don't want to catch whatever Robyn catches. And we were like, that is discrimination. You can't kick someone out for being, like, disabled, right? Well, now in hindsight, looking back as a 35-year-old, almost 36, I realized maybe it's because I came in and I told a bunch of 6-year-olds, hey, if you want to see naked people, have your parents buy you Prodigy. Okay, it could have been that. It could have been that. Okay. What were we talking about? Oh, your birthday party. Send your birthday cards to Robyn Schall at Yahoo or Robyn at robynschall.com. I will read all the birthday cards at the birthday party. Plus, we have some packages. We'll have cake. We'll have wine. It'll be a party. Okay. Remember the other day, I don't know if it was here or on Patreon, but we were talking about the Mandela effect. So for those who don't know what the Mandela effect is, that is when, like, it is not real, but in your brain, you think it's real. And, like, so it's real, but, like, not in reality, if that makes sense. So I had a Mandela effect situation, okay? So, for example, just like, because in case I'm not explaining it well, so, like, every day I drink this, right? Every single day I drink this. Every day I drink this, right? And every day in your brain, you are 100% Robyn drinks out of a mug with donuts. Like, you are so 100%. You see it every single day. And then I was like, they're not donuts. And I bring it closer and you see that they're actually like cows, okay? And you're like, wait, but that's, and I was like, no, it's been cows the whole time. And like your brain had been seeing donuts, but they were actually cows. Okay. I had a Mandela. So, about like 2 weeks ago, there was a protest. I don't know if it was a protest. Yeah, I think it was a protest. All the comedy clubs came together at New York Comedy Club. They like kind of, I guess it's a protest, but like, you know, people were speaking about opening up the comedy clubs in a safe way because Cuomo will not allow comedy, even though, like, there's outdoor seating. So why can't you just have a comic there, you know? Or why can't they use sections of the park to sell, you know, to sell tickets or drinks or whatever? Like, there's ways in New York City to have live theater, especially stand-up comedy, and do it safely. But, like, Cuomo's like, no, comedy's not allowed. By the way, I still love Cuomo and his nipple ring. This part I disagree with. Okay, so it was all in the news. There was a lot of newspapers. Okay, so anyway, my dad's friend sends a picture of the protest, and he's like, oh, is that Robyn? Okay, well, I look at the picture, and there is a extremely heavy-set girl, and my dad's like, oh, Jack sent this over. Is that you in the front? I didn't respond. I was so insulted that they thought I was this girl. She had red hair. And she was like, in my opinion, much bigger, right? So I was just so insulted, so I didn't even respond to my dad. And then my dad calls me and he's like, hey, did you not see my email? And I was like, yeah, I saw your email. That's not me. And I hung up, okay? So then, like, later that day, my mom's like, oh, did you see the picture in the newspaper? Is that you? And I was like, Mom, that's not me. And, like, I hung up. And I was just, like, so mad because I felt like everyone was calling me fat. Okay. So the other day, well, yesterday, 2 days ago, I was with my parents, my aunt and uncle, and they brought it up again. They're like, I think it looks like you. And I was like, do you understand that's insulting? Do you understand that's mean? You're, like, pretty much calling me, like, you know, that I was like, I know I've put on some weight, but, like, come on. They're like, what are you talking about? Okay. Sitting right next to the girl that is, like, much bigger than me with red hair was the girl that looked identical to me. Identical. Like, literally, like, it's me in a mask, okay? Like, same frame, same hairstyle, big hoops, like, literally is me in a mask, right? And I was like, wait, was that girl always there? And they're like, yeah, who did you think we were talking about? And I was like, that girl. And they're like, she has red hair. And I was like, I didn't see the girl that looked like me. They're like, how'd you not see it? And then I was like, Mandela. That's a Mandela. Like, when I saw that picture, the Robyn was not there. So Ricky Lake. By the way, the video that went viral on TikTok, it's almost up to 2 million. I'll probably hit 2 million today or tomorrow. If you scroll through, the amount of people is like saying that I look like Ricky Lake is kind of hilarious. I wanted to write like, who's Ricky Lake, but I feel like they won't get it, you know? So that's the Mandela effect. We have the birthday party. We have the Patreon. Richie's not doing the news. Hold on, there was something else. Frank is coming. Oh, okay. So next week, wasn't there something I said I wanted to do next week? Remember I was like, ooh, we'll do that next week. Does anyone remember what that was? I think I said it either yesterday or 2 days ago. I was like, oh, next week we'll do the celebrity lookalike on TikTok with Ricky. Wait, can you tag me in one of that? Do they do it to a song or something? Wait, damn it. There's something I said I wanted to do. I know I wanted to interview Frank, but there was something else. Okay, anyway, next week I'm going to be taking off Monday and Friday. So we'll only have Cawfee Tawk Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday next week. You know, to give me a long weekends with Frank. If you guys have any good pranks to do on Frank, send me a message, open to any and all. All right, let's set up. I want to make sure that this is working. Hold on. Okay. I want to make sure the speaker's working. I'm so excited for today's guest. I'm telling you, he's so fun to talk to. Actually, I'm telling you, a lot of you, anyone who came, do you guys remember? Hey, Nico, I'm about to call you in like 1 minute. I'm actually about to start talking about you. Guys, so about 3 or 4 years ago, when we did our very first Periscope meetup comedy show, Neko was the host at that show. So a lot of you who were at that show may remember. Good morning, Mr. Carlos. It was at, where was that show? I think it was at the Producers Club. I'm not sure, but you probably, if you probably saw him there. Also, anytime I was at Caroline's back in that time during Periscope, he would be in the green room sometimes with me. We both did those shows a lot. I'm so excited. We have so much to talk to him about. He's had quite the career already, and there's so much. I have questions for him. I'm so excited. Let's just call him now that I know he's up and ready. Let's get him in. All right. Dun, dun, dun. Okay. All right, guys. You have seen him on TruTV's Laff Tracks, Kevin Hart's LOL Network. Guys, give it up for the very funny Neko White. Yeah. Hey, Neko.
I can hear you. What up, Robyn Schall?
How are you?
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm good. I haven't seen you in so long.
Too long. Have I seen you since before the world blew up?
Oh, wait. Yes. I saw you in the parking lot next to the dumpster when we did Bel Air
Yes,
Diner.
when we did that diner.
It's always like
Do
so
I sound okay on your side?
Yeah, you sound great.
Okay, good.
And you look so handsome.
Ah, girl, you stop that. You know what I'm saying? Talking to me nice on this YouTube.
If only they knew the real Robyn.
If only they knew. If only y'all got to know the real Robyn Schall. One of the sweetest ladies, first of all.
Aww.
And one of the most talented people that I know. Because you're one of the only people I know that can make stuff like this even work. So y'all do more, if y'all listening, do more to share Robyn, do more to let other people know how dope she is.
Aw, Neko, thank you. And I'm about to gush over you. Well, you know, because every time I have a show where I need a host or an opener, you're like always the first person I ask. Because I think, guys, I can't explain. First of all, it's amazing that you started at 14, which I'll get into. But your comedy is so smart and like topical, and you do it in such a way that's not off-putting. Because you know some comics, when they're talking about hot topics, or things that are going on, or things that are controversial, they could come off almost like the audience could feel defensive. Never do you come off that way. You always just come off so funny. And so we're gonna get into everything. But Neko, how the hell did you start comedy at 14?
So what happened was I going to school, I had like one thing I was good at, right? And that was making other people laugh. And back when I was in 5th grade, it used to be I would write stories, and I would write the stories a certain way that they would get laughs when I shared them. So kids that I went to school with, they would ask that I write stories and be able to share, right? So it gave me like my in socially when I was really, really young. And it never really got to me what was happening. I just knew I liked that attention.
Right.
It was positive. So from there, you cut to, that's 5th grade, Miss Ford's class. Go through a couple more years, we get to high school. That first orientation day of high school, I met a kid that's funnier than I am in conversation. Right?
Impossible.
So you know
no one's funnier than you, Neko. I said impossible. No one's funnier than you.
I know, you're just being nice. I'm telling you, because there was this girl named Crystal, right? And the kid that I'm talking about, every time he would say something, she would laugh. Every time I would say something, she kind of laughed, like a So that pissed me off. Because immediately I said, yo, I'm not going to get laid in high school. This is going to be trash. I'm going to be a virgin the whole time. And then the next day, the first official day of school, my teacher asked if anybody had a talent. And I don't know what it was. I just happened to be sitting down and something in my head said, ask to tell jokes. I rose my hand and I went up. She let me do 5 minutes. And whatever it was, it worked.
Had you written jokes? Like when you say you did 5 minutes, did you just like get up and talk, or had you written out material?
I just got up and talked. So I got up and I riffed basically about, what did I do? How I thought school safety officers were obsolete because they didn't have any gun. All they had was flashlights, handcuffs, and a notepad. I talked about this teacher that was allergic to chalk and how I didn't even think that was possible. And how white people fall down in movies.
You know, for a 14-year-old, that's like really good like that's advanced No, you expect a 14-year-old boy to talk about poop and farts. These were the 14-year-olds I went to high school with.
We got there. We got to that. It's just that was the stuff that had happened first day, so we all went through it.
Right.
It's what we all have been talking about throughout the day. So when I went up and I did it, I just figured that was the stuff we were talking about earlier, so it probably resonate, right? So when it worked, how do I put this? I fell in love with that feeling. Saying the joke, getting the reaction, people liking it. So then Miss Richardson would let me do it 3 times a week. She'd give me 5 to 7 minutes, or she'd give me 10 to 15 minutes. And it was hard because I wasn't writing anything yet.
Mm-hmm.
So I would go through my day trying to hold everything in my head. I forget things. And then that's September of 07. You skip forward to like after Easter of 2008, right?
Yeah.
I didn't know what open mics were. So Miss Richardson again came up to me. She was like, hey, have you done any open mic nights? I was like, nah, I don't even know what that is. So she told me what they were. And of course, she doesn't do comedy. So she thought open mic nights would get you a lot bigger than what they can actually get you. Right. So I was really excited. I didn't have a laptop. I didn't have internet back then. So I went to the Children's Aid Society right around the corner from me. And I Googled comedy club open mics. The Bad Slava list comes up.
Oh my God, right? Which is still around today.
Still around
maybe
today,
not
so
right now. But
don't know. Bad Slava is a directory for all the open mics where you can start out at in the city. And it's for the whole country.
Yeah, everywhere.
Yeah, all 50 states. But for me, that was a godsend because I didn't know that. I thought you had to go to school. You know what I'm saying? I was that young. I thought you had to go to college to become a comedian. I thought Martin Lawrence and all those guys went to specialized academies. So I go to this open mic at Hart Comedy Club, if you remember that place.
Yeah.
And I go on and I bomb. I never bombed like this before. Because I go on, I sign up, I'm number 21 or 22. And I remember I saw on the open mic list on Bad Slava, it said $5 for 5 minutes. So I figured that meant, all right, that's $1 a minute. If I bring $10, they'll give me 10 minutes.
Right.
I show up with $10 thinking I'm be able to do 10 minutes. Homie looked at me like I was crazy, took my money, gave me my number, sent me in the room. I go on and I just start dying a dog's death on stage. Every joke is just getting nothing.
Right.
And then I get to my closer joke. At the time, it was about my cousin taking a dump in the bathroom and not flushing. And I was like, if all else fails, this should get some type of reaction. I hit the last line, hit the last tag, it literally got this, quote, ha! And I said, well, it'll never be that bad again. And every day, and then here we are.
Wow. First off, like, so much credit to that teacher for, like,
Miss Richardson, God bless her.
for, like, giving you the time in the classroom, encouraging you, telling you about the open mics. Like, that's what teachers really should be doing, is, like, seeing what a kid's strengths are. Like, clearly she saw, okay, this boy's got the, like, entertainment gene in him. Let me, like, encourage him. Like, great. Like, I wish all teachers, like, really nurtured kids like that, because look at what a path you had because of that year, you know?
It gave me a lot. In fact, I'll say more than that. It gave me everything.
Yeah.
You know, I've been able to build my everything is off of that. So I'm eternally grateful for that. And you know what's funny is that I had no interest in regular school.
Yeah.
No interest. I got by with, like, my average was like an 85%, 90, and I probably gave high school 40% of energy.
Right, because it just wasn't your.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, not everyone.
Once I found this, I became obsessed. It was over.
I'm sure. Same thing. I mean, I found comedy later in life, but once I did, I was like, oh, okay, this is where I'm supposed to be. That's why you're so. I mean, I'm amazed you found this at 14, and you're so lucky you did, because you started like so early. All right, so we're gonna skip ahead. So you get to 17, and 17, like, that's so old, but 17, and you get the warm up for Hip Hop Square.
Hip Hop Hollywood Squares.
Yes. How did you get that, and what was that like?
So when I got Hip Hop Hollywood Squares, sometimes they tell you in show business that my headphones, for some reason, are giving off the weirdest sound.
But you sound good.
Okay. Hopefully this is better. Oh no, I think I'm hearing myself come out of your audio.
Oh, probably. You sounded better when it was on the ears, though.
I got you. I'll turn that back on. Hold on. 1 second. We back?
Yeah, you sound great.
So, when you know Grizzly Pear, right?
Yeah.
And they tell you this phrase when we do what we do about how never take anything for granted. You never know what's going to lead to something.
Right.
Well, that's how I got Hip Hop Squares. I was doing the show at Grizzly Pear. I'm hosting. Sean Mallory had like Sundays 11:30 there.
Wait, I just want to pause you for 1 second. So, guys, Grizzly Pear is like a bar in the city that they have like a back room that they do shows, and like it's not a I mean, they do now. They put on some good shows, but like that's not like a place where you go, oh, I'm gonna get discovered. It's a bar in the village. Just so give them context. Yeah. Okay.
It wasn't considered one of our higher up rooms. Matter of fact, back then it was just a workout room.
Right.
You know what I mean? But a lot of comics that are working now and are really big names, a lot of them came up right in that room.
Right.
So if you've never been to Grizzly Pear, when shit gets kind of back to normal, go give it a try. Because it's, first of all, it's much better now than it's ever been.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
back then, it was our little workout room. So I used to host Sunday, Monday, and sometimes Tuesday there every week, the late show. And I'm doing the show, and this kid comes out and gets my information. I ain't think anything of it, whatever. So some time goes on, maybe about a month or two, and I get a message saying, hey, do you want to do stand-ins for this Viacom thing at the MTV building? I'm like, oh yeah, I'll do that. I have nothing else to do. So I go in, and when Hip Hop Hollywood Express came out on MTV2, the host was Peter Rosenberg, right? So what happens is they had the host, he needed to learn the show. So they bring him in to learn to practice, and they got just a bunch of random folks to play stand-ins for certain cast members.
Uh-huh.
So I was playing JB Smooth stand-in, right? So what happened was they would give us a card, and on the card you would have the question that Peter Rosenberg would ask, and you would have the joke, and you would have the actual answer. And it was up to you to tell a joke, give the answer, whatever floated your boat.
Right.
So I would do a joke every time, but I only did the jokes that I wrote. So after 2 days of doing that, was it Craig? Craig had asked me to come back and do Punch Up for the show, right? So me and 3 other comics were picked. We would come back, and for like the non-comedian celebrities who were going to be on the show, we would write jokes for them, right? And then after about maybe 2 weeks of doing that, they were about to start doing the tapings, and they didn't have a warm-up comedian yet. So Craig and Mike both came up to me and they said, hey, would you want to do warm-up for us? Now, I had never done warm-up before in my life. All I had done was I had hosted shows and all that. I had never done television warm-up.
Right.
So
warm-up is before the show goes.
Me, and thank God everybody.
Wait, Neko, hold on. Just so everyone knows.
For
I don't think you could.
a stretch of time, about maybe I want to say a month, that March and that April, man, that was busy time. Because I think they would shoot like 5 episodes of Hip Hop Squares in a day, right? So you'd be there from like 8 o'clock in the morning to 6 at night. And then I would leave and go do my spots around the city and then be back the next day at 8 in the morning, 6 at night. So it was the first time feeling like, yo, we actually really moving. And that job started out as, hey, this person that came to Grizzly Pear saw me, their brother happens to work in MTV, and they threw out a question. He's like, I know somebody that does comedy. Boom. Turned into my first job. And that first job actually led to a lot because it got me my look. When Wild 'N Out came back, it got me my look to audition for that. You know what I'm saying? It got me my look to audition for other things as projects started coming out of Viacom. And it put my face in front of people that would later on remember me from that. So it was one of the most necessary gigs I ever got.
Yeah, I think that's what's so cool about this business is like you just don't know. And this is why you say yes to everything. Because you just don't know. By doing, hosting those shows at Grizzly Pear just led to like so many things. That's why, but also shows the credit to you that every time you get something, hold on. He hung up on me. Welcome to my life with most men. All right, please welcome back Neko White.
Yeah, I'm sorry. My headphones conked out on me. There's a button on the back of these joints that will take me out of conversation.
That's all right.
That's my fault for forgetting. Okay, I'm back.
Yeah, I was just
sorry, YouTube audience.
No, you got back real fast, so that was good. No, that's just so cool. But it also shows that when you get an opportunity, how you give it your all. Because there's a lot of people who would have just showed up and then just did the stand-in and not done their original joke. So
right.
Oh, that's so cool. Okay, so you've done. You did Fox's Laff. You did Kevin Hart's the LOL. What is it called? The LOL Network.
LOL Network.
Yeah. How was
LOL that? At JFL.
How was that?
That was a lot of fun, and it came after a really packed week. So back in 2016, I got selected to do New Faces in Montreal, right? So first of all, one of the best feelings I ever had. Because that festival, I had never got a chance to audition, right? So we're talking, I'm 8 years in the stand-up at the time. And I remember when the Just for Laughs auditions would come around, right? And I wouldn't have an audition. And you know how it is, you in the business for a minute and you think, well, damn, what am I not doing that I can't get an audition for this thing? Right? And there was one particular year I went to Stand Up New York to watch the New Faces auditions. And a friend of mine saw me there. He's like, yo, you going on? And I was like, nah, I just came to support. They're like, damn, you not going on? Oh, shit, something's wrong. And I know they didn't say that to, like, dig at me, but I took it, like, that way. I was like, ouch. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I remember I left. And then back in 2016, when New York Comedy Club got, you know, they revamped and they came under new ownership, they were doing the showcases at New York Comedy Club on 24th Street. So one of the owners there had threw my name forward, right? So they assumed that that person represented me, right? They were my manager or something. They weren't. They just put my name forward. So when they put my name forward, they let me do a showcase for JSL. And I get a message like, hey, would you want to audition for Mr. Laff? I'm like, hell yeah, I want to.
Of course, yeah.
So I go down to MICC, and I had 3 gigs that night, right? I had that audition, I had a spot at Comic Strip, and then I had the whole Stand Up New York's 10:15 show. So I go to New York. I'm nervous because I had never auditioned for this thing before. And after not, you know how it is, when you're not seen for one thing for so long and you feel like you'd be good for it,
right?
That when you finally get there, it's all the nerves of like, yo, I've wanted this opportunity and I got it, what am I going to do with it? And then there's the other part of it where it's like, you kind of hate fuck the set. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, because I've been wanting this for so long and you've not seen me for so long for whatever reason. So I went up, it went really well, and I leave. I go up to Comic Strip, and then we finish the Comic Strip. I go over to Stand Up New York, right? And one of my friends is a cab driver. And as we're on our way to Stand Up New York, I get a call from New York Comedy Club. They're like, hey, so-and-so from the JFL wants to talk to you. I'm like, shoot, I want to talk, but I'm already gone. You know what I'm saying? And the next show I got to do, I got to host. So I ain't going to be able to make it back down there. So I'm thinking it's over. I'm like, well, that was nice. You know what I'm saying? We did good. Only to have to sift the people that wanted to talk afterwards, right? So now, everybody's cab, we're driving over to Stand Up New York, and we get to Stand Up New York. Miraculously, the show's canceled, right?
So that's the universe working for you. There you go.
The show's canceled. I'm in my buddy's car, and I'm like, yo, can you get me down to New York Comedy Club? And my friend's a comic too, and this is why homie will ever be dope in my book. We ran lights to get to NYCC.
Yeah.
I've never gotten from 78th and Broadway to 24th between 3rd and 2nd so fast. So when we got there, the person that wanted to talk to me had already left. So I was like, fuck, damn, we missed it, right? Sure enough, 10 minutes later, Lou came back because he left something at the club.
That is crazy. See, that really, sometimes I really do believe the universe looks out for you, because that is just like everything lining up. And you have a few stories like that.
It's one of those wild stories where you go, like, you wait to be on something as dope as this and tell this story.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm being sincere. I don't even think I've told this full on to most people, so only you get it.
Yeah, no, I feel like it, because I mean, like, we won't get into it specifically, but he has a lot of these stories. Like, he has a story about this comedy club that's very exclusive, hard to get into, and the roundabout way he got into it, of just like the stars lining up. I mean, you know, so you have to work hard and you have to have the universe in line, and things will happen.
That faith, all the cliches, that's the crazy part. All the cliches actually are true when it comes to this thing.
It really is. But if you didn't work hard,
it's so corny, but
if you didn't work hard, and if you're not funny, if you get that lucky break, it won't matter. But if you got all 3 in line, it just is amazing. I have a question, just like on a superficial level, any celebrity you worked with that you really either have a funny story about, liked, or disliked?
That I can't say that I've worked with any celebrity that I dislike. I'll say that 2 Chainz, if he would have showed up 5 minutes later, I would have been on TV.
Wait, what?
So back when we were doing Hip Hop Squares, right?
Yeah.
2 Chainz was late, super late one day, super late, he was so late that they thought about letting me have his square. Because I knew how to play the game. I'd already been practiced and all that.
Yeah.
2 Chainz was that late, and we had like 3 other episodes to shoot. So Craig came over to me. He's like, "Yo, you might just have to get a square, man." So now I'm geeked. I'm like, "Yeah, heck yeah, right?" I'm getting prepared. They're micing me. They're giving me the regular microphone that you give folks that are playing the game.
Yeah.
Literally, as they're connecting my mic from my you know how they put the wire down your shirt?
Yeah.
As the wire's going down my shirt, fucking 2 Chainz walks in. I was so mad.
You're like, 2 Chainz, get the fuck out of here. This is my break.
Dog.
Oh, that's funny.
Yo, and I'm a fan of 2 Chainz. You know what I'm saying? So it was like weird because I was so tight, but also I'm a fan, so I couldn't be that upset.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't worked with too many celebrities that I don't. That
were
like.
crazy or anything.
Somebody that I was a big fan of, John Witherspoon. So that was the first road gig I ever did.
Yeah.
Was with John Witherspoon in Lancaster, PA, of all places, right? So there's a comedian named JP Justice, and he's hosting the show. Now JP's like 6'6", gotta be. John Witherspoon walked in. You know, John's an older man at the time, like late 60s, maybe early 70s. He sees JP, looks him up and down, and goes, "Shit, man, you played football?" And there was something about this, you know, that old man casual question, like, "You do comedy, you play sports?" It just tickled me. He was really good about answering any questions, telling you all the stories. Told us about how everybody used to want to beat up, what's homie's name? Robin Williams?
Yeah.
For like, you know, lifting or whatever. He said
like
back in the day,
lifting like taking people's jokes.
Yep. He said at the Comedy Store they used to want his head, though.
Oh my God, it's so crazy.
Yep. So to be able to sit across from somebody who's seen that many generations of comedians, while also being like, in my opinion, one of the greatest as far as longevity is concerned.
Yeah, totally.
That was really dope.
I'm assuming you're gonna remember this story because in my head it was like one of the most amazing things ever. When we were at Caroline's and George Wallace, do you remember this?
Yes, I remember that.
I can't believe that I would be going around anytime I had an interview, be telling this story because it was the moment for me at least that I was like, oh, Neko's good because. All right, well, you tell what happened so then I could fill them in on my view of it.
So we were at Caroline's one night, right? And I believe I was hosting this show.
No, I think. No, wait, hold on. Was I hosting it? Or you were I can't remember.
I can't remember. Because either
one of us was hosting.
And I was about to bring George Wallace up.
No, wait, I was hosting. I was hosting because I remember they called me beforehand and they were like, just giving you a heads up, George Wallace is going to be on the show. Okay.
Right.
That's what happened.
Yep.
And then, okay, that's what happened. All right. Go.
So now, you bring me up or you brought him up? I forget how it happened.
Okay, so I brought you up.
On stage.
This is what happened. You went up, and then I was going to bring him up next, and then he called you back to the stage.
Yes. That's what happened. Yep.
Yeah.
And now I'm on stage with George Wallace, right? And I remember being almost too mystified to talk because I couldn't believe it was happening.
It was crazy.
And you know, the crazier part?
What?
It might have been the same year. He was the host for the Montreal thing later that year.
Really? Did you see him?
Yeah, he was the host for my show.
Oh, for your show? Did you bring it up? Did he remember?
For the new faces. Mm-hmm.
I just remember, like, he was like, so he called you back on stage, and you're like, he's standing there at the mic, and you're kind of like leaning, you're like on the stool, kind of, and he's just like asking you questions, and like the banter back and forth was really funny, and I just remember being like, oh my God, Neko's doing so well. Like, that was me, and I just, like, got done, and someone called me back on stage. I'd be, like, so flustered, but you were so, like, cool and calm and funny.
I'm glad it looked like that. I was so flustered. I was so flustered. The sides of my lips were getting dry for no reason.
He was so complimentary of you. I remember him like
very nice guy.
Yeah. But he's just so nice. I remember I spoke to him afterwards, after the show, and I was just like, wow, you are a nice guy. Like,
yeah.
It's
funny how I don't know, fam. I was always taught that like older comedians were these bitter, mean fucks, and I'm sure that might be the case, but I've been lucky not to encounter too much of that.
Yeah, same. I really have. People ask me all the time, like, what celebrities are mean or nice. I'm like, everyone's kind of like in the comedy club, like, people think backstage everyone's like, yeah, loud. But it's like, no, everyone's just like in their own head, looking at their notes, like calm, you know.
Everybody's pretty chill.
Yeah.
Everybody's pretty chill.
All right, before I let you go, can you tell everyone, because I know you just had recently, well, during the pandemic, another album drop. So can you tell them about it and like everything, where you can get it and everything?
So to all you folks that are here, we ain't wrapping up, are we, Robyn?
Well, I mean, whenever you want.
Okay, cool. So I ain't seen you so long. I'm down to talk to you for a while.
6 hours later.
I cleared out an hour and a half for this, yo. You ain't running me off that fast. But to the folks that would like to check it out, I put out an album titled Marcellus, Marcellus. I recorded it back when the world was still alive in 2019.
Remember that?
At New York Comedy Club. Yo, packed crowds. People can sit next to each other without worrying. No coverings on their face.
Right.
Wild times. But I put that out back in May. And it was the most cathartic thing I've done so far this year. Because when everything started with the shutdowns and all that, I'd already had the album recorded.
Right.
And it's funny, because remember what you said earlier, these funny coincidences that you don't really think about?
Yeah.
So that's what the album ended up being. Because when we recorded last year, I legit didn't know what we had. Right? All I knew was that the show that we recorded was really great. I felt really dope about it, and I was really happy to turn it into something. Then, as the year started, I had certain things that were coming up. So I had a thing that I was going to do with Netflix that was going to come out. So I slated the album. So I had it done, and I would put it out in conjunction with Netflix, whatever. Right? So when that comes out, then I'll put out the album. Well, COVID took everything and moved it. Right? So I didn't know what the fuck, but I knew I had this tape. And I was super sad when this whole thing started because I've never lost or felt like I lost that much opportunity or that much, potential.
I know, and they know because I talk about it all the time, like what a loss I felt. And then if you're talking about next Netflix level, I mean, it's just like heartbreaking when you work so hard and then COVID hit and our careers just like stopped,
And that's the part that people don't really get to see.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Especially with certain types of people. I'm one of those archetypes where if I'm doing bad, you ain't going to know. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna smell weird. I ain't gonna look any different when you see me. I ain't the GoFundMe type. Yeah. But mentally though, you rocking for however many years, and you take care of whatever you take care of, whoever you take care of, and you know what everything looks like, right? So now we get to, got some shit coming, and some shit that you've been wanting to have come.
Right.
And then you get up to this how savage it was. You get up to a month, literally 30 days, to where you could be like, if it would have happened 30 days later and I got to complete everything, Schall, I wouldn't care nothing about what's happening outside. Swear to God I would. But it was almost like you needed something like that to where it put me in a position of almost total reevaluation. Right. Not of the career or anything like that, but just of the moment of like, what the fuck?
And can I just say, like, on the flip side, because I have this conversation with Emma Willman all the time,
Love
because
her.
she's the best. Because we're like, both of us had things happening also right before. But here's the thing, you know, you said if it happened 30 days later, you wouldn't care. But here's the thing, so much has happened in the last 6 months. Anyone who got their break in February is already old news. So maybe it's almost better that everything got pushed, so that, you know, when things come back, all these opportunities will be waiting for you, and you already have these connections, you know, so like, I don't know, after hearing so many of your stories, I'm feeling the universe is working in your favor. You just don't know it yet.
I have that feeling in the inside, but you know how life is. Living through it, though, to get to that point, it doesn't matter what the universe has done previously.
Right.
You forget that sometimes.
Yeah.
Or at least I did. I can't speak for everybody. I know I did. I know at the beginning of this, I felt like this was only happening to me.
Right. No, I feel like, I mean, this has been the hardest. I always say, I mean, even when I'm live, I'm like, it's not just my career that was taken away from me. It was also like my love. Like, it's the thing that makes me the most happy, and financial, and everything. So, you know, so I want to ask you, we do have to stop about 5 minutes before 12. So we have about 9 minutes. So I'm going to ask you a few more questions. But something I want to ask you is first off, he did laughs on TruTV. Was Laff Track.
Laff Track.
And so I had seen the bit, but I just went back this morning, and it's amazing that you had recorded this last year. But the bit is about how the way white women could talk to cops, how like it's like how like black people could only dream of being able to talk to cops that way. First off, I mean, it's such a funny bit. Let's take away the social commentary on it for 1 second. But just as a bit alone, it's so well written. It's so funny. And then the fact that everything just came to a boiling point back in June. I mean, hold on. It came to a boiling point, I want to say for like
May.
White people and media, you know, it focused on. But I mean, I'm sure that's because, you know, white people were able to like close their eyes to it for so long. But I mean, did that video go viral again? Like, did it take? Because when I saw it, I was like, oh my God, how is this not being played all the time right now?
You know what's funny is that on Facebook, that clip has over 1 million.
Yeah.
And then on YouTube, it's over 100,000. So it went viral on Facebook. Right. I don't check the video all the time, but somebody sent me a screenshot of it. So over 1 million views on Facebook, and then over 100,000 on YouTube. What's funny about that one is, I saw, because the lady that I'm talking about, Elizabeth, isn't my actual neighbor. I just so happened to name someone that I saw acting like that.
Right.
So over here, there's 2 buildings that we call Schaumburg. Right? And I don't know, I want to say Donald Trump is responsible for helping put those buildings there on 110th across from Central Park. But anyhow, I'm coming home one night because I used to walk up Fifth Avenue on nice nights. And I saw this lady just belligerent, pissing in the street. And this cop was being super cool to her, right? Right. And she yelling at him, doing whatever she was doing. And she did say, I should take your hat off of your effing head. And she went to go snatch at it. And his partner was laughing at him. She goes to snatch at the hat. And she gets it off of his head. And she goes to like walk away with it. She's wobbling. And he's like, I can't let you do that.
Could you imagine? I mean, like, I'm smiling and laughing because I know the bit, and because like it's so funny because people may be watching this and be like, oh my God. I'm only laughing because I know his bit, and when he's saying it, it's so funny, especially. But like,
and you probably know that lady.
I probably am that lady. It was probably me. You know, it could have been anyone. Like, because before, I mean, the last couple of years, I mean, it's so true. Just like. I'm trying to think, like, I've been pulled over in a Spider-Man costume and no license. It was Halloween. Don't just think I'm
Oh Right, just think you out here as Spider-Man.
Guys, tomorrow Nico's gonna have a new bit about Robyn dressing as Spider-Woman with cops, and and like I wasn't drunk because I was driving, but the girl next to me, underage, passed out as Harry Potter. There was it was just, and we got pulled over, and I was like joking with the cop, and I think that's why
What's that like?
Exactly, and that's why that joke. And this is when I think when this whole interview started, the first thing I said is you take things that are real and society happening, and you're able to make it funny, which is so hard to do, to take such a serious topic. Do you ever how do you approach that? When you take something as serious as that, how do you
mm-hmm.
I don't know, what's your process to make a serious thing in the news or funny?
It's one of those things where, I guess on my part, I have a certain feeling about it, right?
Yeah.
Whether it's positive, whether it's negative, and I try to start from there. And then after that, I try to make the parts of the story that are real, I try to make the details as funny as I can.
Mm-hmm.
And if it is a controversial subject, it's all about how you talk about what you're talking about. In the bit that you're referencing, Elizabeth, I'm just flipping how, okay, this is what I've seen happen, and this is what we would like to be able to do.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that way, even if you don't like the bit, you can't say that I'm lying.
Right.
You can't say that I'm wrong. You can disagree, but you can't say that these people don't get away with a certain amount of shit when it comes to the cops.
Yeah, exactly. Because when you just said, it wasn't your neighbor, I'm like, yeah, it could be me. Because even if you take a white person who still to this day is blind to what's happening, they can't ignore that as a white woman, they've done something like this or gotten away with something like it's so true. Because even if you disagree, the facts are there of
the fact is there, and it's you can. Most people choose to just hear something, laugh at it, go on about their day.
Yeah.
We talk about people that get offended and whatnot. That's really a small percentage of people.
Mm-hmm.
It's a real small percentage. It's just that they're loud.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But they're a real small percentage. Most people are cool, and I think we need to do more to make sure the people that are cool know we appreciate them. Because we almost only ever talk about the people that get offended and the PC police. That's 4 people. Right.
I know it's so true. And I even think it's even greater in the clubs. In the clubs, you can say stuff. That's why I love live streaming, clearly. It's been the best thing for me. But there's something about being in a comedy club, this safety of you can say things. People know you're there to laugh and not offend, where versus on the internet, what used to just be jokes, people take as, coming at you or a thing,
Yeah. Well, let's start from that, Robyn. We're gonna start with your people first, because they're here, right?
Well, my people are the best. They will,
They are. They are. They loved you from the Periscope days.
Yeah.
From your live show.
Yeah.
So we're gonna start with yours, and we're gonna hope that they infect everybody else.
They will.
So the folks that are listening here, because we only got
2 minutes.
4 minutes left. So the folks that are listening here, understand, I'm a stand-up comedian. Robyn Schall is a stand-up comedian. All we can control is what we say, how we say it, and our intention behind it. We can't control how you perceive it. We want you to laugh. So whatever we say that gets you to that point is just a joke. Take it like that.
Hold on.
If you're not a part of the 200,000 that died, going forward, we don't want to hear anything from you about what joke pissed you off. Moving forward.
Yeah.
Moving forward.
Nico, I wish I could hug you. I wish we were in person.
Let it go.
So good. I said I wish we were in person so I could give you a hug. Everyone's applauding at that.
Hey,
all right, Nico, tell everyone everywhere where they can find you and remind them again with the album.
Got you. Ladies and gentlemen, thank y'all so much for listening to me and for watching Robyn. If you want to find me, you can find me on Instagram at Neko White 93. That is at NEKOWHITE 93 on Instagram. And check out my album, Marcellus, MARSCELLUS, available on iTunes. Check it out. And check out my podcast. It's called the Potterhood Podcast. If you're a Harry Potter fan, I'm here for you. So check us out. Talk some shit with us.
Oh my God. Guys, I tagged him on all social media. So if you're on my social media, you'll find him that way. Also, all of his social medias and a link to get his album will be down below. Also, wait, just send me a link to your podcast. I'll put that down below too, because I have a feeling after this, a lot of people are going to want to follow you. And they already, in the comments, they already said they love you. Neko, I miss you so much. You are one of my favorites.
I miss you more.
Oh, you're the best.
One of my favorites. You have been for a long time, and I hope to God that when this is over, we can get back to work like we used to.
Absolutely. I can't wait for it. Guys, give it up for the very funny Neko White.
God bless y'all. Thank you again, Shaw.
Bye. Love you.
See you later, sis. Love you back.
I told you we got a good one today. He's the best. He really, and you guys, he's also, you have to check out his comedy because you're going to laugh like, ha, ha, out loud laugh. He is so funny. My mom will tell you, my dad has this friend, her name is Paula. She has this like crazy loud laugh. She is obsessed with him. I forgot to tell him this. I've got to tell him that I know his biggest fan. He doesn't know his biggest fan, but I know his biggest fan. It's so funny. We want to stay, you know, if we could have just talked all day, but this is what happens when we see each other. We get sucked in. All right, oh, by the way, clearly no time for the news, which is good because we were going to need Georgia, and I look so cute today. All right, let's get in Mama Schall because she's probably nervous that we would do the news and cut her. Can you imagine? Can you imagine we tried to cut Mama Schall? Hi. Please welcome Mama Schall. Mom, how much do you love Neko?
Oh, I love him. Oh, every time I saw him. Oh, he's terrific.
Because you've seen him a bunch of times now.
Yes.
And
many times. And it's such a treat. It really is. Again, you just sit in the audience and you laugh.
Yeah.
And it's just let yourself go. As I always say, it's time that you forget your troubles.
Yeah, and he's just so small. Like, his comedy is just so observational of what's going on, but so funny. Like, I just can't. You guys have to, you know, if you can, buy his comedy album. Like, I don't say that about every guest I have. Like, go get it. But, like, you'll laugh for an hour. He's good. Like, he's the real deal.
But one of the things that he said, which is so true, he takes a fact, something that happens.
Yeah.
And then he just builds a story around it. And that's it. I mean, it's funny because you realize that it's, you know, how he does it.
Yeah. All right,
his purpose is to, same as yours, to get the people to laugh.
Totally. All right, do you have any notes?
Yes, but do we have time?
Yeah, you know, I know the producer. She said we can go over. No, because if I cut your segment, I'm going to hear about it for the next day, and, you know.
Well, first of all, I just want to say how, all around, I am so impressed with how supportive the entertainment community is to each other. Of all the, you know, the interviews that you've done and people who have come on here and, you know, spoken and then, you know, support each other and help each other, because at this time, so many of you are out of work.
Yeah. You know, it's funny you say that. I think it's just, remember, the only guests I have on are people I like as people. It is a very cutthroat business. I just only associate myself with the good ones. So I think that's why this show, like any comic you've seen on this show, just know has the stamp of Robyn approval, meaning they're nice, supportive. No, because there are a lot of crappy entertainers that are cutthroat, but you'll just never meet them because I won't have them on.
Right. And what's wrong with AOL?
Nothing's wrong with AOL, Mom. You keep that site. You go.
Dinosaurs use it.
You know the violinist that went down with the Titanic? That's Debbie Schall with AOL. She is going to be on it until it goes down.
I don't even remember Prodigy.
Yeah, that came first.
I don't remember that one.
All right, next.
And that's probably why they have all the parental controls now.
Yeah, I know. It was because of Robyn Schall showing all the kids at school naked people.
And what is it? You know how you were saying that, Como said no comedy?
Yeah.
No laughing, no smiling, no nothing.
Cuomo said no comedy and no strippers.
And I'm saying no, I don't want anyone laughing or smiling.
All right, next note.
What is it? We're next week, you said about
Robyn, what is the best birthday present to get you? Join my Patreon. 1, 2, you can send a birthday card through my email. I won't open it till Friday night's show. 3, you can donate to a charity that you know I support, and then you could just privately be like, hey, Robyn, I donated in your name. Or 4, buy my album or buy a comic you've seen on Cawfee Talk's album. Those are good guesses. Or like just something fun. So there's a lot of things. You could go any route. But that tip was really good. All right, Mom, let's go one more note.
Okay, didn't you say something about decorating cupcakes for Halloween next week?
Oh, I think that was off camera. You asked me to make cupcakes next week.
Yeah, decoration really.
Yeah. Okay, yes, thank you. But that was just our private conversation. My mom wants me to do decoration cupcakes. Yes, I'll do that next week.
Because you did it for me for Christmas a couple of years
Yes.
ago, and I brought it in that was my donation to the potluck dinner.
Okay.
Wait, and I have one other thing.
Okay.
As an educator, and this goes to what...
didn't that make you so happy, that story?
Schools, that's why they cannot take
That's
the
wrong.
arts, music, drawing, everything out of the curriculum of school, because you reach children in all different areas.
It's true. I mean, look at me. I mean, that's why I had my drama teacher on.
Absolutely.
Richie just came. He's now on his lunch break. We ran over so long. Richie's done with his teaching.
Yeah, I see. Hi, am I late?
Richie, you're early for tomorrow. Although, Richie, we had like such a great interview today. All right, Mom, give your shout outs.
Oh, wait, Snake Eyes had an idea. You should do Halloween makeup.
I'm doing a Halloween makeup episode tomorrow, Snake. Time for the news.
Oh.
All right.
Do my shout outs?
Yeah.
Okay, Jenny, who's always first. Happy Hump Day. Brittany, Jalen, Jamie, Thomas, Becky, Snake Eyes, Alejandro, Mr. and Mrs. Carlos, Stephanie, I guess Steph, and then Jay, Cameron, Andrew, Susan and Natalie on replay, Arlene, Randy in Florida, Dee Dee, and anyone else who I missed.
If you want a shout out, just know during the episodes, all you have to do is write in the comments. If you're watching a replay, just leave a comment. Mama Show will get you the next day. Your birthday gift was delivered from Amazon today. Okay, good. And I already have 2 other packages. So we're going to have a fun party Friday. All right, Mom, say your goodbyes.
Okay, everybody, stay safe. What is it? Wear your mask, wash your hands, keep a safe distance, socially distance 6 feet or more, and smile. I don't care what anyone says. A laugh, smile, that is one of the best medicines. So everybody have a great
Love you, Mommy. Happy hump day.
Love you guys.
Bye.
Eating the donut is good too.
Eating a donut. Okay, goodbye. Oh my God. All right. What a fun day. What is today? Wednesday? Starting middle week fun. Okay. Thank you for tuning in to Cawfee Tawk. I'm Robyn Schall. I go live every day, Monday through Friday, here on YouTube. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel. Down below, if not already, I think Richie did, but is all of Neko's information. But I will put also his podcast and album link down below as well. So just stay tuned for that. Go follow him on social media. He's so funny and so great, and I can't say enough great things about him. Join my Patreon, patreon.com/Robyn Schall Comic, or go to my Etsy and get yourself a light switch. This Friday, we're having my birthday party at 8:30 p.m. So there won't be Cawfee Tawk during the day, it'll be at night. Patreon sprinkles, we're going live tomorrow at 9 p.m. So I will see you then. Guys, thank you for tuning in today. Alright guys, have a great day. And that's Schall, folks.